notice, everyone, how good it is to live in the actual presence of God and not live as a supposition, nor in the suppositional presence of God, but realizing that little composition is too profound to be slightly criticized. It is too profound to be analyzed. It needs no analyzation. And there is no such an expression as equalization to make any comparison with the omniscience and the profoundness of my spirit transmitted. I was just thinking about that verse that makes it so explicit and so explicitly propounds it. Even in war-torn countries, there is abundance on every hand. Just as it is right here, under my personal jurisdiction and under my personal domain, I have the abundance on every hand in war-torn countries and in each and every land where they are conscious of my actual presence and are trying to live accordingly. To be conscious of my presence, as afore explained in that message as read, I am giving you the keys to the kingdom. The keys to the kingdom of both the heaven and the earth. And you as individuals, individually, collectively, and universally, as well as organizationally, will have the keys to the kingdom and the keys to all underground treasures, and will have the keys and the combination of all of the locked doors, wheresoever they may be, as in the days of yore. Aren't you glad? I need not go on into the details just now, for that message that was proofread from years ago. 1934, on February the 3rd. Just think of it. More than 18 years ago, the same Spirit is speaking today. I am showing you the way. Yea, I am showing you the way to go. To realize, as concluded in that message and stressfully conveyed throughout the whole message, God is present everywhere. Aren't you glad? You need not come here nor go there. I'm present everywhere. I am just as operative. I am just as expressive and just as functionable in Australia, Africa, Europe, and Asia as right here in America. Since God by nature is impersonal, God by nature is interracial, God by nature is universal. He's not confined nor bound to any of those limited expressions or manifestations of the different continents on the different hemispheres. For God is here and God is there. You have declared God is everywhere. Then why act as though God is limited to even some individual planet? God would not be omnipresent if God was bound or confined to this small planet Earth alone. That's what I'm talking about. I say to Abraham, as far out in the field as you can see, can be for your inheritance. Survey the solar system. Transcend the solar system. Go through the solar system. Realize God is not confined to the limited beginning of the solar system, since God is omnipresent. That's what I'm talking about. Know ye your God. I say, know ye your God. Even you have said, and have heard it said, all the way down in Christendom and down in metaphysics, God is omnipresent and God is ever present. Then where are you going where God is not? The same as many desire to come to me, all the way from Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and the South American countries. If you come here or go there or anywhere, where are you going where I have not always been? He was in the world, and the world was made by him, but the world knew him not. Aren't you glad? They call, they write, they send telegrams from different places designed to come or design me to go or stay or be, even from New York. Some of you have been getting telephone calls today designed to know if I will go or if I will stay. I'm there now and I have to go nowhere. And yet if I choose to apparently go, I will just be demonstrating an expression of apparent going. But I will be still staying right here where I am. I do not encourage those of my adherents to come to me personally. If I was to stress the sensuality of you coming to me personally, I would be telling you in words, I am not present. Oh, how glorious it is when you transcend personality, individuality, and all materiality. Even the material earth that did appear in consciousness and consideration, and get home where Jesus is. I say, get home where Jesus is. Because he transcended all materialization and the mortal version and the human ideas and opinions. He transcended gravitation according to the religion's version and went up to heaven. I am showing you the way to go home. Humanity has been drunk for nearly 6,000 long years. But I'm showing you the way to go home. Aren't you glad? I did not intend to say anything in the beginning. For as you can plainly see, even from this short time, since 1930 or 28, since 1928, as far back as any of you can find records where my stenographers took down my messages as they are doing today. Even just to say, from that time until now, you can plainly see the essentiality of transcendent personality, individuality, and mortality, and live in the consciousness of God's actual presence, and know that God is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent, with or without a person. I need not say more as aforesaid. As I refrain from speaking so much presently, I'm bringing up things from and through the ages that were hid, many of which have been hid in the literary treasures of God's wisdom that have been transcribed and sent down, as the message just read. As you can plainly see, it has been more than 18 years ago, in 1934. The same Spirit is speaking today. And yet, these are just a few reports that came up from and through and by someone volitionally and voluntarily transcribing my message at that time. But think of the years and years and years and years before 1934. I mean, untold number of years prior to 1932, prior to 1930, 1920. I have been given my message just the same from this personal tabernacle as I am given today. But at that time, I would not allow anyone to write a line of mine. Neither would I allow anyone to take my picture until recent years. At my consent, around 1932, I would not even correspond from a literary point of view with anyone at one time. For I decide, as I decide now, everyone to get the significance of the actual presence of God and not be looking or seeking something afar. But oh, how marvelous it is to build up and carry out. He that has built the house, when he sees fit, he tears it down. Aren't you glad? Especially when it's built according to the mortal version. And to and for the mortal personages. And build you up upon a foundation that is incorruptible and undefiled. For all mortals must die. Even the mortal versions must die. The mortal ideas and opinions must die. Transcend them as though you are flying up to the sky. The sky is nowhere, as I have declared. And is nothing, but everywhere where there is nothing. But as you look up, it appears as though you see something. And that nothing is called the sky, according to the mortal version. But if you are going to transcend from the mortal version of things, transcend gravitation, as though you can fly, and see yourself as sin up to the side and leave all mortal things behind. It feels good. Those days, before I allowed anyone to take my picture, or before I allowed anyone to take my messages by shorthand and transcribe them to keep them for a record, yea, for records. I emphasize the fact that God was and still is omnipresent and ever present. And when He, the Spirit of truth, is come, you need no man to tell you. See the mystery?
Oh, it's wonderful.
So then, it's a privilege even to be called back into consideration of my supernatural and transcending messages I gave you,
It's true.
and handed them down by tradition. I mean spiritual tradition, so that you might get them in this advanced civilization. Oh, how glorious it is to live in such a recognition. But that message, as read here, from 1934, 18 years ago, is sufficient to give you a little information concerning my mission, concerning what I have been telling the people. I did not just begin to tell the people. So then I say live in this recognition and build upon this foundation. For truly, when I am apparently absent, I'm just as operative and just as consciously present as when I am personally present where you are and where you are dwelling. So then I say live in this recognition. And you can feel the actual presence of my Holy Spirit. And as brought out in that little composition, one eternal Merry Christmas and one eternal Happy New Year. Even in war-torn countries, we have the abundance on every hand. Therefore, how can I lose? Oh, where can I go that I will not have the abundance of the fullness of the consciousness of good and find no space vacant of the fullness of it? God is creative by nature. Therefore, when and whatsoever God is brought into consciousness and they are conscious of God's actual presence, God is just as operative and expressive in the recreation as he was in the creation. Why go around in lacks, wants, and limitations? A true follower of mine is not without employment. True followers of mine are not going around unemployed. In life wants a limitation. No grounds to say that I can get a position. Or if you're a true follower of mine, you can get a position. And if you're a true follower of mine, you are not sick, and you are not sickly. If you're a true follower of mine, you are not a failure. You are all success and all prosperity. The 20th chapter of Deuteronomy will tell you. I say the 20th chapter of Deuteronomy will tell you. You love God and keep his commandments. You are blessed. You are all success. You are all prosperity. Take these thoughts into consideration. There's no need for anyone to come and tell me I'm a follower of yours and I've been a follower of yours for so many years. If you're 182 years old, if you live the life of Christ as declared by Elihu concerning Job, if there be a messenger among you, one among 1,000, that will tell man of God's uprightness, of my uprightness. So, my soul has seen a ransom. His flesh shall be fresher than a child shall return to the days of his youth. And there will be no occasion whatsoever to grow old. Mortality will try to justify such mortal versions, such mortal ideas, and such mortal opinions. So if you live in this recognition, lo, I will be with you and give you the victory to transcend materially all mortal versions, all limitations, all adverse and undesirable conditions. And old age, you will be a stranger. Poverty and all of such mortal expressions of the curses will be a stranger. Poverty, failure, all of those cursed expressions of the curses will be strangers to you. You will live in the glorious presence of God once and forever. And you will not have to come where I am personally, especially. Neither will you be obliged to stay away from where I am personally. Will not have to go away from me personally, especially. For if you're fully, completely, and wholly in me, if you are the fulfillers of my once often rehearsed statement and salutation, there you all are, and there I sit, and here you stand. unity of the spirit, of mind, of a manifestation. When this is fulfilled effectively and collectively among us, it will be established nationally and universally, more effectively. I thank you.